generous presence in this shul, and so much of this shul, including parts of this room, and literally would not be here without both Les and Sybil. You know, it's funny, this happened at the funeral too. The exact same thing. The exact same thing. No, it's a little bit, it has never happened before, and it happened, it's totally possible. It's totally possible. You know, and so it's appropriate that this hangs forever, right? There's another thing about sort of memorial too. So memorial is not just about, so as you know, one of the things that Jews always do when they visit a grave is they put a stone on the grave. And the history of that is that, you know, that was the only way of marking the grave. It wasn't like there was a grave with a stone on top. No, it was that people piled stones on top, and then the stones rolled away as stones do, and people had to return and make sure that pile was always there. And, you know, memorials are not just solid things. Memorials also require and invite people to come back and put that stone there and talk about Les and remember what he did for this place. And so Lezecher Olam means both that this will hang here for as long as this wall is here, but also that people will gather around like this and share memories about Les. And we have a lot of people here. Would anyone like to, before we include an El Male and a song, would anyone like to share something about Les?
I can share one thing. I think I told you this as well. So Les and I had this, our relationship was up and down like a yo-yo for many, many, many years, like everybody else. But I remember the last thing, we were on Zoom call. I can't actually remember what the topic of the Zoom call was. But all I do remember is that at the end we were discussing something, and Les, and I will never forget it, said, I agree with Darren, he's right. Oh my God. So that was what I'm taking away.
Wow.
And I actually called him when I laughed about it with him. You know, I said, wow. I said, I don't even know what I was saying, but it must have been good. So no, but he was a great guy and really an important part of our community. So, yeah.
So I can share a connection with I think we joined the synagogue around the same time that Les and Sybil joined, and I very quickly found a connection with Les because he had done a lot of business in Rhode Island, which is where I grew up, and he had a lot of great stories from those years. And remember, we discovered that at the time, my dad was on the board of this travel company, and it happened to be the travel company that Les and Sybil would go on all their trips. Was it Carlisle? Colette. And so they would always have all these great stories comparing notes, because my parents would go on these trips as well, and he would always have all these great stories about some of the friends that he had in Rhode Island, and because Rhode Island's a quirky place, and he kind of got it, you know.
Anyone else? Well, I'll just share that I really feel like I know Les. And I did meet Les once. I was only lucky or unlucky enough that I only got to meet him one time. Unlucky that, sure, maybe it would have depended. That's not what I meant, but there can be that joke too, but that's not what I meant. I meant that, I'd only met him one time, and, but I mean, just, it was such a rich experience getting to know him through everyone here, and it was a really moving thing, and I really feel privileged to have done that and to have known him very briefly myself, but also I feel like very deeply from hearing all of you talk about him. So I'll offer this psalm in his memory, and then we'll say El Male, and we'll continue with Kabbalat Shabbat. Shir Amalot Esai Nayalari Me'ain Yavo Ezri Me'im Adonai Ose Shamayim V'Haaretz Al Yitein Lamod Raglecha Al Yanum Shomerecha Hine lo yanu lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yeminecha. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach balayla. Adonai yishmor mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzeitcha uvoecha me'ata v'yad olam. El malei rachamim shochen b'meromim. Hamsei menucha nechona tachat kanvei hashchina. B'malod kedoshim utorim. K'zohar k'yamazirim et nishmat Shmuel lev. Ben David HaKohen be'Esther shalach l'olamo. V'gan Eden tehei menuchato anav al harachamim. Hasirei b'seder kenafecha olamim. Utzor b'sur hachayim et nishmato Adonai u'nachalato. V'yanuchu b'shalom al mishkavo v'nomar amen. May Les's memory long be a blessing in this congregation, and may his name and may his life and his deeds be sweet in our mouths, and may this memorial hang on this wall for as long as this wall stands. We'll continue with Kabbalat Shabbat.
Or 46. Yedid nefesh ha'rachaman mishochadach eretzonach yarutz avdach emohayah yishtachavel mol hadarach yeravlo yedidutach minofetzuv vechol tam Adonai eziv haolam nafshi chol adavatach Hanael narefana beharot la noham zivach chazir chazek v'tidrapeh v'hayta halashik Shichat olam v'tikyemu rachamecha v'chusna al ben ohavach ki zekama niksov lirot betiferet uzach Ana Eli Nachman Libi Bechushana Ve'altit Alam
Halena Ufros Habibala Etzukadeshelomach Tahiret Mikvodach Nahila Benis Mechabach Maherahu Kibamoed Vechoneini Kimeolam Yada da 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 yada 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 da Page 15. Arba'im Shana Akud Bedor La'omar Amto El Rabhem Vehem Lo Yadu Dirachai Asher Nishmati Ve'api Imivohur Menuchati Ainanai Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Meyom Leyom Yeshuato, Zachru Bagoyim, Kevodo Bechol Ha'amim, Niflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai. Norahu
Hadrat Kodesh, Imru Bifanav Kol Haaretz, Imru Vagoyim, Adonai Malach, Abdikon Tevel Ba'altimot, Yadinamim B'mesharim, Yismechu Hashamayim V'tagel Haaretz, Yeram Hayam Umelo Yalo Sadai V'chol Asher Bo Ay Shachavu Ronenu Kol Hatzeyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva Yishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'tzedek V'amim Be'emunato Yalai Lai Lai Page 17 or 15.
Adonai Malach Tegel Haaretz Yismechu Eish V'panav
Oh, have Adonai Zinura Shomer Nafshot Hasidav Mi'ad Rishaim Yatzilem Or Zarua Latzadik O Yisrael Simcha Simchot Tzadikim Adonai Behodu lezecher kodsho. Mizmor shiru l'Adonai shir chadash ki niflahot asam Hoshia lo yemino uzroa kodsho Hodia Adon shuato lehene Kato, Zachar Chasto ve'emunato, Leve Yisrael, Ra'u kol afsei aretz, Et Yeshuat Eloheinu, Hariu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz, Bitzchu ve'ranenu ve'zameru zamru l'Adonai v'chinor, V'chinor v'kol zimra, v'chatzro v'kol shofar, Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai Yiram hayam umelo, Tevel v'yoshveva, Ne'arot yimcha uchaf, Yachad harim yeronenu lifnei Adonai kiva, Yishpot ha'aretz, Yishpot tevel b'tzedek, V'am b'misharim, Yalai la 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 la, 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 Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu Tehar Kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu Tehar Kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu 54. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai, Kavod Mahos, Hay, Havul Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Yishtachavu Adonai, Hadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Al Hamayim, El HaKavod Yirim, Adonai, Al Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Bakoach, Hay, Kol Adonai, Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shomer Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai, Et Azeh Halvanon, Vayar Kidrim, Kemo Egel, Lebanon, Lesirion, Kemo Ben Re'emim, Hay, Kol Adonai, Chotzev Lahavot Esh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Cholel Ayalot, Vayechesof, Ye'arot, Ubehechalo, Kulo Omer Kavod, Hay, Adonai Lama Bo Yashava Yeshev, Adonai Melech Le'olam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitzin, Yivarech El Amo Vashalom, Hay, Yemincha, Tatir Zerura, Kabel Rinat Amcha, Zarenu, Zarenu, Nora, Ana Bekoach, Gedulat, Yemincha, Tatir Zerura, Kamerinat Amcha, Sadmenu, Darenu, Nora. Anna Bekoach, Gedulat Yemincha, Tatir Zerura, Kamerinat, Rinat Amcha, Sadmenu, Darenu, Nora. Or 56. Lechadodi likrat kala ele Shabbat nekavila Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad Shemo echad L'shemo tiferet ve'lid hila lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekavila lechadodi likrat kala Shabbat Neka Pelham Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'necha Ki mekor ha-beracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tehila Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Mikdash melech yemelucha Kumitzeir mitoch avecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha Vehu yachamol alayechem la Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Hitna arim me'afar kumi Lifshi bigdei tivartech ami Ayad ben Yishai bet halachmi Korva el nafshi ge'ala Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Hitorari Kima ore kumi ori Shira beri kivod adon alayi Nigla lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Ay lo tevoshi v'lo tikami Ma tishtochachi u'matemi Bach yachesu aniyei ami V'nivneta ir altila Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Ve'hayilem shisa shosayich V'rachaku kol mivalayich Yasis alayich Elohayich Kimsos hatan al-kala Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat neka Pelham Aminu small tifrotzi Ve'et Adonai ta'aritzi Al yad ish ben part 359. Mizmor shir le'yom ha'shabbat, tov lehodod l'Adonai, ulezamer le'shimcha elyon, ulezamer le'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha balelot, ale asur ale navel, ale hikayon bechinor, mizmor shir le'yom ha'shabbat, tov lehodod l'Adonai, ulezamer le'shimcha elyon, ulezamer le'shimcha elyon. Tzadik hatamar yifrach ke'eres balevanon yizgah shetulim mevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva tishenim vera'ananim yiu lahagid ki yashar Adonai Suri Elo Avrata Page 2461, middle. Mikolot Ma'im, Ma'im Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishpereyam. Mikolot Ma'im, Ma'im Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishpereyam. Adir Bamarum Yanai, Adir Bamarum Yanai, Adir Bamarum Adonai, Adir Bamarum Yanai, Adir Bamarum Yanai, Adir Bamarum Adonai. Edotecha nimnu me'od, lemetcha nava kodesh, Adonai le'orech yamim.
Yesher koach. This week we observe the Artzeiten of Sidney Cabin, father of Daniel Cabin, Walter Plosky, father of David Plosky, Selma Saunders, mother of Barbara Saunders Adams, Pauline Terrens, grandmother of Daniel Cabin, Edwin Heron, father of Virginia Heron Lanoyle, Arnie Merkin, mother of Merrill Druckerman, Didi Moshe, father of Adrian Moshe, Martin Vogelfanger, father of Naomi Jaffe, Marilyn Dvorkin, mother of Michael Dvorkin, Ken Schachter, father of Jacqueline Schachter, Alice Sichel, aunt of Michael Droller, George Stein, father of Jacqueline Stein, Leatrice Borowski, mother-in-law of Anne Borowski, Esther Diamond, sister of Gloria Horowitz, and Dorothy Koblenz, grandmother of Eleanor Dreyfus. We also recall Evan Liss, Tilly Roch, Michael Mindis, Sophie Cantor, and Dr. Henry L. Jaffe, who are memorialized on our board. May their memories and the memories of all those whom we recall be blessings. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 24. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shilama Rabba min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. This is a nice-sized crowd for us lately, which is great. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see so many people here. It would be wonderful to see even a few more here. This is wonderful. So can we actually introduce at least one new face, I think, to me? Can you say hello?
Hi, everyone. My name's Chris, and I'm just swinging by. I'm only here for one Shabbat, but I have ties to this place. There was a lone soldier named Sarah Griffith who went to go serve in the IDF in Israel, and I had heard about her, and so I used to live in Israel. I came back this year, and I was her mentor in a big brother, little sister program to help lone soldiers get through their service in one piece. So
Welcome. Good Shabbos. Julio. Welcome, Julio.
Thank you.
Want to say hello?
Hello, Julio.
Great. And it looks like you'll have to introduce yourself to me again. It seems like a few other people know you, but please.
We're the ones that when you open the door, everybody turns around and see it. Carrie Margot.
Nice to meet you guys. If we've met before, I apologize, but nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys. It's so lovely to see you guys. Just share a quick word. This week we finish up the truly magnificent tale of Joseph and his brothers, and the story reaches its climactic point at the very beginning of the Parsha this week. But the Parsha this week can't be understood without the Parsha last week. It really does. It's one of those shows that really cuts off, right when something is about to happen. It's a cliffhanger. So in order to understand what Judah's going to do this week, you have to get sort of a running start. And you have to remember that the brothers go down because there's a famine in the land of Canaan, and they go down to Egypt to see this Egyptian who's actually their brother. Of course, they don't know it's their brother, and they go once, and they bring back food, and the food runs out, and they go again. And when they were there the first time, they said, we're these 11 brothers. We actually got this 12th brother at home, Benjamin, Joseph's full brother, and this Egyptian, this eccentric Egyptian says, don't show up to me again if your little brother Benjamin is not with you. And the brothers tell this to Jacob, and Jacob is beside himself. And he says, you're not taking Benjamin. He says, look, Joseph is no more, and you're going to take Benjamin away from me too. And you're going to send me down to my grave in mourning. And Judah, because otherwise they're going to starve. Judah goes to his father by himself, and he says, listen, I will bring him back to you. I will bring him back to you. And if I don't, I'm going to stand guilty before you my entire life. My family is a surety for me. My children are a surety for Benjamin. I'm going to bring him back to you. I don't always have props, but I forgot my prop. And remember, they go back, and Joseph said, is this that little brother you were talking about? And the brothers say, yeah, this is him. And Joseph gives them food again. And still, he recognizes them, and they don't recognize him. He gives them food, and he tells his servants to put, his precious cup in Benjamin's sack. And as soon as the brothers head off back to Canaan, he sends his people after them, says, stop them, thieves. And he brings them and says, one of you has stolen my cup. And the brothers say, no, it's not possible. We're not thieves. We're honest men now. And he's going through at each sack. And imagine the horror. Imagine the horror. When they open up Benjamin's sack, and there's the cup. Imagine the horror and the confusion. And Joseph knows what's going on, the brothers don't. And Judah, at the end of last week's Parsha, says, what can we say? What can we say? We'll stand guilty before you. We will be your slaves all the days of our lives. And Joseph says, far be it for me to do such a thing. Let only the one who stole from me remain here as a slave. Imagine. And then the Parsha cuts. To be continued. And imagine Judah's horror at this. He said, Dad, I'm going to bring him back. And imagine his guilt and his confusion. He thinks, yeah, I already sold Joseph. Judah's the one who has the idea to sell Joseph. And I said I was going to bring back his little brother, and now I'm not. And then, Vayigash Yehuda, and then Judah draws near. And this is the big twist in the Joseph story. The whole time we're thinking Joseph is the hero of the story. But actually we know the end. And we know there's going to be a people, and they're not going to be called Yosefim, they're going to be called Yehudim. And this is when there's this twist. We realize that the hero is not Joseph at all, the hero is Judah. And he says, Be Adoni. Please, how can I speak before you? Kekamocha kefaro. Because you who are like Pharaoh. And he falls down on his knees. And he says, please take me instead. It's one of the most magnificent moments, I believe, in world literature. One of the most magnificent moments in the Torah. It's why we have our name. Because we are like Judah. But what does it mean to be like Judah? I want to share one thought about this. Not the only thought, but one thought about this. From the Ishbitzer Rebbe, Mordechai Joseph Lehner, 19th century Hasidic Rebbe. And he said that basically, the extraordinary thing about the tribe of Judah, by which he means the tribe of Yehudim, is they never give in to Yeush, which is a halachic term meaning despair. They never give in to despair. Right? And think again about this moment and how awful it must have been for Judah. He already came up to him and says, listen, we're your slaves forever. And Joseph says, no. Just that one. Just the one you promised to bring back. And imagine how strong the temptation would have been just to collapse and say, I have nothing left. And at that very moment, that's when Judah, terrified and exhausted and guilty, runs up to Joseph and falls down and says, listen, man, you got to let me say one more thing. You got to let me say one more thing. I have to try again. I have to engage again, even though I know it's not going to work. He knows it's not going to work. The king already said, I'm only keeping Benjamin. He goes up there, he says, please, 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 please. It's a remarkable moment. And the Ishbitzer Rebbe's reading of it, that it's a moment when we learn that what Jews do is never despair. That what Jews do, to be called on to lead a Jewish life, is to not schlep your way through life and not to give up in any situation, but to always, always, even when it is difficult, lead a passionately engaged and daring life. Or even when it seems totally hopeless, you go up to the guy and you say, please, I gotta try something else. I have to keep being engaged. I have to keep trying. I have to keep talking. I have to keep on going. I gotta hock this guy one more time. And I'll close just by saying, there's a phrase that sort of I first learned because my grandmother used to say it. Hak mir nicht kein Chainik. Which means this great Yiddish phrase, which means don't bang me a tea kettle. And what it means, the reason why that means that, it means to bother someone and to nag someone and to keep on going. The reason why it means that is actually, if you've ever seen an old tea kettle, when it would boil, the lip of the pot would flap like this, like a pair of flapping mouths, just kind of hocking you over and over and over. And I remember my grandmother would say, and she would say to my father, "Hock mir nicht kein Chinik." You better believe, my father hocked her a lot of the Chinik, and she hocked him a lot of Chiniks. There was a lot of hocking. And it's a phrase that I think sort of crept into my own lexicon first as a joke, but then as something really, I really do use it. I'll really say to Felissa, don't hock me right now. And I think one of the reasons why this phrase seems so richly Jewish and so beautiful and authentic to me is that it is really true that Jews just do keep on talking. They really do. And here it is. You thought the sermon was over. You thought the little drasha was over. Keep going. No, Jews keep on trying. And that's what Mordechai Joseph Lehner says means to be an inheritor of Yehuda. That even when you think you got nothing left, you've still got your voice. And you can still find it. And you can still say something amazing with it. So may we all find ways to do that. We'll continue with Baruch Hu on page 28.
Page 28 or 64. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'adonai. Umavir yom, umavir laila, umavdil ben yom uben laila. Adonai Sebaot Shemo. Al chai v'kayam tamid yam lechalenu v'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Avat olam beit Yisrael. Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim. Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu uvkumeinu. Nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, Uvahem neger yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'yavdacha al tisar mimenu le'olamim, Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amor Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 32. Emet. Ben Munus HaKol Zot V'Kayam Aleinu Ki Yu Adonai Eloheinu. No, so. Okay. Malchuto Bratzon Kiblu Alehem. Moshe Ubnei Yisrael Lacha Anu Shira. B'simcha Rabba V'Amru Chulam. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei peleh. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, ze eli anu v'amru. Pelham va'ad v'ne'ema ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugolai miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gael Yisrael. Page 33. Hashkiveinu Adonai leheinu l'shalom v'amdenu malcheinu halam tzras aleinu tzidkas lamecha v'shmor seteinu v'oeinu l'chaim v'shalom miyata v'yad olam v'fros aleinu tzidkas lamecha Baruch ata Adonai Haporech Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'yal Kol Ama Yisrael, V'yal Yerushalayim. Please rise, page 34. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Beini uven b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'yom ha'shavi'i Shabbat v'yinafas. Ketzi Kaddish on the bottom of page 34. Yitgadav Yikadav Shemei Rabbah V'yalmad Yivrach Yerutei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechonu V'yomeichonu V'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael B'galav V'zman Karev V'yimeru Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mavorach Li'olam Li'olmei Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar V'trumav Yitnasei V'yitadav V'yitalei V'yitalal Shemei D'Kudisha Le'elam in Kol B'chatav V'shirata Tuish B'chatav V'nechamata Damiram Yalma V'yimeru. The Amida is from page 35b. continue with the repetition on page 47 or 89. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol sevam vayachol Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishpot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto Asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elahei Avotenu Elahei Abraham Elahei Yitzchak v'Elahei Yaakov Elahei Sarai Elahei Rivka Elahei Rachel v'Elahei Leah Oel Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara El Elyon Konei Shamayim v'Yaretz Magen Avot bidvaro Mechayei Meitim b'Ma'amoro Ha'el HaKadosh she'en kemohu Hameniach li'amo B'yom Shabbat kodsho Ki vam ratza laniach lachem Ki vam ratza laniach lachem Lefanav na'avod b'yirav v'fachad Shmo b'chol yom tamid me'on ha'berachot El ha'hodaot Adon ha'shalom Mekadesh ha'shabbat Umvorech shavi Umeniach b'kedusha V'yamet shunei onek Zecher l'maaseh Maaseh Bereshit. Page 48. Eloheinu v'Elahei Avotenu Ratzeh K'hadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'ten chelkeinu b'toratecha Sahabenu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha Letahel libeinu li'avdecha b'yemek V'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu B'yahava uvratzon Shabbat kodsheh V'yanuchu v'Yisrael Mikadeshei shemecha Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Yigra v'yigra shemei rabba v'yalmad divrach yotei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechonu v'yameichonu v'chayedecho beit Yisrael b'galav zman karev v'yimmeru Yehi shmei rabba mavorach le'olam le'almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpav v'yitzaram v'yitnaseh v'yitadav v'yitalei v'yitalai shemei dekudisha b'rechu le'elam min kol b'chatav v'shirata tush b'chatav v'nechamata damiram v'yalma v'yimmeru Titkabel sosan avuton dachol Yisrael kadamu v'awon div v'shmaya v'yimmeru Yehi shlam rabba mishmaya v'chayim olenu v'yalko Yisrael v'yimmeru Osei shalom b'mromav hu yasei shalom aleinu v'yalko Yisrael v'yimmeru Kiddush? Anybody want? Page 51 or 98. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latein kedula liyotzeh breshit shelo asanu kagayei haratzot ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרם בשמיים ממעל, ושפינתו זו בגו במרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ תחת אין עוד. אוקיי, נקבל הכל. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו. Mona's Kaddish is on page 52 or 101. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'galav v'zman karev v'yimru Amen. Yehei shnei rabbah mevarach v'elam v'lamay maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitramam v'yitnasei v'yitada v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'rechu le'ilam min kol b'rechata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata da'amiram v'yalma v'yimru Amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei shalom b'mrumav hu yasei shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Thank you.
Our president, David Haft, had to go home to be with family, so I will make the announcements. Kiddush is sponsored this week by Anna and Echo Turkanich in honor of their 39th wedding anniversary, which is awesome. Sponsors continue to be needed for this program, including December 25th. To sponsor a Kiddush, please contact Andrew Rothberg. This Sunday, the book group will be in person at the PJC Library and also available on Zoom. It begins at 11 a.m. PJC's own Jordan Salama is discussing his new book, Every Day the River Changes, which is a travel memoir. For those participating in person, light refreshments will be provided, and Jordan will be able to sign books. It's a beautifully written memoir about traveling down the Magdalena River in South America. So if you know Jordan, or if you're interested or whatever, please come.
You learn a lot about Colombia.
What's that?
And you learn a lot about Colombia and the history of that. It's awesome.
Yeah, yes, yes, absolutely, yeah. It's very lovely. It's a lovely written book. So please come along for that. Adult Ed continues on Wednesdays. We have one more class both this week, and also we have Tuesday night class this week, and then after that we're taking a couple of weeks break. About Adult Ed, the Wednesday class will keep going on as usual at 12 o'clock on Zoom on Wednesdays. The next Tuesday night class is supposed to be, was originally billed as, it was called Everything You Know About Judaism, Everything You Always Want to Know About Judaism We're Afraid to Ask. It's basically an intro class. So far we don't have that many registrations for it, so if we don't get enough registration, we'll pivot. As I've been saying, I think it's lovely when shuls offer intro classes, but it seems like a lot of our adult ed regulars these days are sort of not in the intro class space and would like something else. So if you would like an intro class, I'm sure there are people in the community who would like that. Please do sign up. Also, if you're online, please do sign up. Otherwise, the class will be probably something else. And if you have a specific request or suggestion, I am taking requests. So
we sign up or make an indication if we're interested in being part of an adult education class, but we don't want
have like 12 to 50 people who are like coming on Tuesdays, but most of those people probably don't want an intro class. So like, if there's so
Maybe it's like topic suggestions or something.
yeah, if you want suggestions and if you have topics, so I don't want to talk too much longer because we got to get home. So Soup Kitchen continues. The next day is December 16th. Volunteers are asked to provide sloppy joes, rice, and cookies. Contact Joe Goldenberg about that. Our High Holiday campaign is still going on. No amount is too small. It would be amazing if we got 100% of people to pledge for the holidays. Our scholarship program is continuing as always, free. You can log on and learn with some great professors at JTS, and check out the bulletin for that. And that's it. Any other announcements?
Tomorrow, sir?
Tomorrow's, thank you, Lori. Tomorrow we're doing is Shabbat Mishpacha. So it'll be a service that starts at 10 o'clock here as opposed to the normal 9:30 time. It'll be sort of lively and geared at children, but also geared at children of all ages. And we'll have an opportunity to daven and say, Baruch Hu and Kaddish and all of those things, but it'll be sort of a lively, slightly abbreviated service and a lot of singing and music. And Cantor, Lori, and Jack are going to do some great stuff. So please come to that.
Yep.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
All right. Yigdal is on page 53. Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimtza v'einei tel metziuto echad ben yachid keyichudo nelam v'gam ensof v'achduto ein lo demutar guf v'eino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kadmon l'chol davar asher nira rishon ben rishit le'reshito ino adon olam b'chol notzar yoregulato malchuto shafat buato b'chano elam shesegulato b'tifarto lo kam Yisrael k'moshe hod Rabbi U'Mari et Emunato Torah